Yeah. So it's National Create or
I love to write day. It's also Steve Irwin Day.
God. I've always said this about Irwin. One of the three people I can think of off the top of my head who everyone loves. No
Yeah,
controversy, no haters.
dude. You know what also today is?
What's that?
And I feel like we need to touch on it now. I don't know when we're releasing this. I don't know if you're putting it out today, but
I could do it
um
today.
it's the Macho Man's birthday. All right,
Ah,
R.I.P. Oh yeah.
cup
That
of
was a
coffee in the
terrible. That
big
was a
time.
terrible impression. Favorite Macho Man moment
I'm the
is definitely.
president. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Favorite Macho Man moment probably has to be when he beat Spider when he lost to Spider Man. But the second one has to be him and Miss Elizabeth.
Reuniting.
Yeah, his what's it called? His TNA debut was kind of cool too, though. I'll give him that.
Dude, he was always cool. Was there ever a time when Macho Man just like wasn't cool?
Um, no, I don't think so.
He was
I
never
don't.
really like, I mean, I would say to a wrestling fan, he was like Hulk Hogan level famous. Like he was, for his
Yeah, yeah,
time, he was one
easily.
of the best. But yeah, I can't really think of a time when he's kind of like he reminds now that I just brought Hulk Hogan up into this, he reminds me of like the Randy Orton to Hulk Hogan's John
Hogan's
Cena.
John Cena. Yeah, that's a good who would be I guess would that be Seth Rollins for Roman Reigns?
I think so. Seth is that workhorse.
Yeah.
But they've been
Then
in
we're
for so long, so yeah, I guess. I'm trying to think of someone who started off, early 2010s, in the mid card or whatever, and you knew they were going to be a main eventer and is still a main
yeah.
eventer. I can't think of anybody. Bray
No.
Wyatt would be if he was still with us, I'm
No,
sure.
I think it's got to be Seth Rollins.
I think
I don't
so.
I don't think it could be anybody else.
That's
Bray Wyatt
interesting.
Bray Wyatt would be I guess equivalent to like I don't know. I mean, I would think that to Austin it was The Rock.
Who was The Rock?
The Rock was the Randy. Well, I would think that The Rock
Oh,
was
Austin.
second
Okay, yeah,
to
yeah.
Austin. I would think then third place I would put The Undertaker, which then would put Bray Wyatt probably there, I think.
Yeah, that's what's cool,
And I
which
would put
is
CM.
great,
I would put it to CM Punk for Randy Orton and John Cena.
which is crazy because when Cena and Orton like really cemented themselves as like the guys. CM Punk was
Yeah,
already gone,
that's true.
or would have been gone while they had what 8 9 years to keep going.
Yeah. And then I would throw Ryback at the bottom of that list.
I hope he hears this
Yeah.
and
That's
then
all the
comes
guy
on our
does.
show.
That's what the guy does. The guy just sits on TikTok and Twitter and YouTube all day, searching for hashtags with his name in it.
Maybe we need to learn from Ryback because he's got oh, I meant to tell you, I meant to text you, but I did it. Ladies and gentlemen,
Ooh,
the captain, Miggy, has achieved something that I could never achieve. We now have 501 TikTok followers.
that's new because last night when I went to sleep, we were at 496.
Dude, I don't know how you do it. I don't
A
know how
lot
you
of,
make your fingers do that. I know it's time consuming. I know you got
and
screenshots of shit all over your phone. I do too with all the
I got
thumbnails and
tiny
everything.
fingers.
But big hands.
Yeah, it's that's what's crazy. That's what's crazy.
I just want to, dude, I got to give you your flowers.
Thank you, buddy.
When you
We're
first
doing
joined
it
the pod,
together. We're doing it
and
together.
well, we do, but we each have, we've assumed certain roles more or less.
Yeah.
It never really. I don't think we planned on it. So if you
No.
want me to do more TikTok stuff, I will. But it's just I don't know. I am so thankful that there's a partner in crime on the podcast with me who's enthusiastic and responsible and uh I don't know. You whoop ass. All right.
I
Dick
love you
sucking's
too,
over.
buddy. I love you too.
Okay. What should we talk about? Last
Well,
night I was ring announcing.
dude,
We
I know I was gonna
had
say that
the last time is now tournament with Zack Ryder.
those clips that you put up of ring announcing last night with 5 star, insane, dude.
Okay, yeah, and I gotta give a shout out too. I actually erased that story because he didn't repost it, but he did respond to it, and he wasn't like he just said that was gnarly. I knew he wasn't supposed to jump twice. He didn't want to. He wanted to,
Yeah,
but he overshot it. And the reason that I shared that was because it was the athleticism was just too good.
exactly, exactly.
It
I
was
wasn't
like
even.
Superman.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even really even thinking about the overshot. I was thinking about how he just got right back up and he's like, "No, this is what we're
Yeah.
doing.
How did he
We're
not
taking out,
break
we're taking out
his
Joey
collarbone?
Lancaster right now."
Oh,
That's who it was, right? On the table, Joey Lancaster.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those two have been beefing at VWC for a while now, and so last night it was a best of five. Um, first each match in this best of five was 6 minutes long. First one goes to a draw, then they go back and forth. Lancaster gets a DQ, blah blah blah. So now we're at the final match, and they draw again. So Mr. James comes out and he's like, "No, we're gonna settle this. Falls count anywhere, no DQ. We're gonna have a winner." One thing leads to another. The fighting on the outside. Joey Lancaster ends up through a table. But 5 star dude, it's he's something else.
Guy's phenomenal.
And I will say this about Joey Lancaster. I know no one likes the guy, but damn if I he does his job. Everyone's booing him. He comes in with like this stoic presence where he doesn't let people bug him, but you can still talk as much shit to him as you want. Dude, his entrance, he gets in the ring. He does like Undertaker pace, bro. He's really slow about it. Gets in the ring and the lights go out. He puts his hands out like he's, Chris Angel, and a beam of light, dude, like Ned Schneebly in School of Rock, and a beam of light on me and my guitar. And dude, anyways, Joe Lancaster, you're not a friend of the podcast yet, but at some point, I think there's potential. So that's what I'll say about that.
Well, last night there was a lot of wrestling that took place too. Did you watch? Did you get to see some clips at least of all the craziness that took place between the two shows that were last night?
I
Oh, and we
didn't
didn't even talk
see
blood and guts either.
We didn't. We got a lot of like wrestling to catch up on. I didn't see any of Impact or TNA. I keep fucking doing that. Because when I was growing up it was TNA Impact.
Exactly.
So it wasn't just TNA. So I didn't see anything from TNA, but I heard that it was didn't it like sell out or something like that or
Yeah, and yeah, I mean it's been a crazy week for them. Um, what's it called? I don't know. Dirty Curtis or something like that. Whatever Fandango calls himself now announces his retirement. Which I thought, kind of sad. I like the guy. And then you had, but last night, yeah, I mean, they had a good crowd, phenomenal show. Did you watch that what was it? I don't know, that show where Booker T and Undertaker are like team captains.
LFG?
LFG, I don't know, that guy BJ Ray that got fired from WWE was in the crowd. He bought it. Dude, this dude is a douche.
Did he pull
Okay,
an Enzo?
yeah, no, he bought a ticket and was just talking smack about Mance Warner. Nonetheless,
Oh jeez.
it's like, listen, dude, if you can't beat like Mance Warner is a phenomenal wrestler. Okay, the athleticism that goes into the sport of wrestling, the character work, everything that guy does, I think is really really good. And we've seen him, leave like body parts in the ring, basically, which goes to show me that he could fight in real life. That's not a guy you want to piss off. That's the guy that's
Didn't
gonna
we
beat you
see
up.
him squirt blood like it was a
No, that was.
squirt gun?
Oh yeah, I think he did that too. But
I wonder if that's something you can do on command.
I don't know. But I do know that that's the guy that will beat you up and then spit chew in your mouth as you're down, knocked out. So I listen. I don't think anybody should be messing with Matt Mance Warner or talking about his in ring performances because he's that good. And honestly, I think that Mance Warner should be highlighted more in this whole NXT versus WWE thing that they're doing now because NXT is now invading TNA or NXT versus TNA. Sorry, NXT is now invading TNA, and I hope that it means that there's going to be an NXT. I hope in a perfect world there'll be a Survivor Series style thing with those guys too, not just like what we just got, like an actual real build to it. But there's not enough time left because Survivor Series is in 2 weeks. But yeah, great TNA this week. Phenomenal AEW show for only 3 matches that they had. A lot of storytelling was well done. Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa's tag team is going to win this whole entire thing. But Sky Blue was the standout of the whole entire show. Did you see any pictures of her? Did you watch Dynamite?
Yeah, I saw the
Yeah.
a long time ago on the I don't even remember if you were on the podcast yet, but I made a comment about Sky Blue because there was something on Dynamite or Rampage or Clip, whatever. And it just did not look good. And I said on here that Sky Blue was Sky Green. And I just want to say that I feel bad about it now. And it's, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. So
I
anyways,
will I will say that I am excited for this women's war games match, but there is nothing that the women in WWE I like I hope that I'm wrong for the sake of wrestling fans, but I don't think they're going to be able to compete with what was put on in that blood and guts for the women. It was such a great match. I didn't know who was going to win. There was blood everywhere. It was just the perfect of what a war game style match should have been. The men's was whatever, but the women put on a spectacle.
do you think that's because the men, especially with the Death Riders, you see that kind of shit every big match?
Yes, Darby Allin getting lit on fire. Cool spot. Thinking about it, Darby Allin has gotten lit on fire before. I'm pretty sure. If not, he's definitely lit people on fire. Um, yeah. Kyle O'Reilly though.
It's like if you, it's like what's the point of the cage?
Exactly. Kyle O'Reilly though also highlighted that whole entire match. Dude
Yeah, there's that
left it
viral
all in the
picture
ring.
going around of
Yeah.
Mox choking him out
And
and flipping him off.
he's not like I don't know. I mean, I can't speak to his health, but I do know he has health issues, and I would not recommend anybody bleed as much as that guy was bleeding.
You know, I think I always like Kyle O'Reilly a little more than Adam Cole.
Uh, I don't know. I'm an Adam Cole Bebe kind of guy,
I
but
and
Kyle O'Reilly,
I've
salt of the earth, dude. I met him at the Royal Rumble Access with Roderick Strong and Bobby the Fishman Fisher, the Fish.
looking good in the white, by the way.
Yeah, and but Sky Blue too. We met her first ever AEW fan festival. Met her there, and then met her again at the last Double or Nothing Vegas show. She was just out walking around. Her and Kyle Fletcher were just out walking around handing out stuff to fans after the show.
That'd be sick.
They gave me a magnet. It's on my refrigerator.
Good for you. What's
Yeah,
it say?
Double or Nothing.
Oh, right on.
but
That's a cool
but
magnet.
it's when I bought this hat.
Oh, that's a sick hat, dude, with the red bill. Is it green
Yeah.
underneath?
If it no, it's not green underneath, but I'm
Oh.
surprised it's not for the amount that I've sweat in this hat. But and then you had SmackDown, which I want to pick your brain because we were talking a little bit about it last night. We now have the full list of John Cena's opponents or possible opponents. We got most of them right. We mentioned how Cardona Ryder was a possibility. Are you disappointed in the outcome of one, him even being in the tournament, but two, losing to LA Knight in this tournament?
Well, what did I say didn't I say on the last episode that I think LA Knight, was it me or was it you that said
It was
LA
you.
Knight winning this thing and like turning heel at the same time? Like who could get the most traction or didn't I say
Yeah, it
something
was
like
you.
that?
You said something like that, yeah.
I expect LA Knight to beat any, mystery guy who comes in who the crowd hasn't seen in like, X amount of years. And then so it's not shocking to me that he won, but I'm just wondering how much further LA Knight can go.
Well, my question is too, and we were talking about it last night in our little group chat. Cool to hear O Radio, but the Always Ready would
That's
have been
right.
so much better. And they should have just kept the Cardona name. That's so stupid.
Well, I do you think they probably did it because this whole time Cena's been doing callbacks
I
and
think, well, finish what you were saying, sorry.
um so I don't know, maybe that was just a tribute to John, like that was the way of tying this into John Cena, who this tournament is all about. It's not about Zack Ryder, it's not about Matt Cardona. So if you're trying to tell a John Cena story, if you're, let's say, like WWE in 3 years decides to do a documentary on John Cena's career and who his opponents are, they're going to mention Zack Ryder, and then they're going to mention how Zack Ryder showed up in the tournament all these years later, but they're not going to mention GCW. They're not going to mention
No.
Matt Cardona or anything like that. So from a John, like solely a John Cena like canon, I think it makes sense, and maybe that's why they did it.
I think they did it because they're worried people not knowing who Matt Cardona was, but knowing Zack Ryder more.
Mm.
But I do think that this
I
was a stepping stone. The pop that he got, I do think this is the stepping stone to Zack Ryder coming back to
I
the
think
WWE.
someone like Triple H probably knew that Matt Cardona would be remembered. But I don't think I talked to you about this, but did you see the statement from like one of the TKO bigwigs uh about how they created WrestlePalooza and it was a huge success? And it
Yeah.
was it was like real wrestling fans know that that's an ECW thing. It's not a creation. So
Uh-huh.
these board members, these non-wrestling fans, which was the death of WCW, the non-wrestling fans having control over the money and all that shit, I would say is the death of WCW.
That's a fair
But
statement.
but they're doing the same shit again. And I think if Triple H had to present to his boss or to Nick Khan, hey, this is what we want to do, and they'd say, no, we got to keep because we have the rights to this merch, and we would get X amount of percent. And if we did the Matt Cardona merch, we'd have to split it with him, and then he would get to reuse
That's
our
a good point.
content.
That's a good
Like it's,
point.
I think it's corporate bullshit, and I
You,
think it's I don't know.
you know what I could see them doing? Because they also own the UFC. So a tournament where they have the wrestlers actually fight each other in mixed martial arts, and whoever wins gets the championship shot.
The Brawl for All
Brawl
2
for all, brawl for all too. Yeah. Um,
in the White House lawn.
in the White House lawn. Yeah. Um, never mind.
It's breathtaking to think about.
Yeah. But then I also, I think it's a safe bet to say that I don't know. I would see it coming down to it's going to come down to Gunther and one of two people at this point. Then LA Knight or Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is the last guy, the mystery opponent for on Monday Night Raw.
You're super positive about that, huh?
Positive, so positive.
Just because he signed that new contract?
Yes, because he signed, yeah, officially signed the contract with WWE. I thought it may be Obafemi, but he just returned to NX on the last episode of NXT, so I don't think it's going to be him because there'd be no point of having them end on a cliffhanger of Obafemi showing back up on NXT if they were just going to put him on Raw. I think Joe Hendry comes right up to Raw.
Well, you mentioned Trick Williams too. Is he still he's not a
Yeah,
factor
but
for you anymore?
there's too much involved with Trick Williams in this TNA versus NXT feud thing that they have doing that I just think Trick Williams needs to be a part of that. I don't think either of them need Joe Hendry really that much anymore. I think you'll still see Joe Hendry on NXT until he's done with this feud with Chelsea Green and Ethan Page, but I could also see that feud making its way up to the main roster.
Okay, would this be? I just had this crazy idea pop in my head, and it might be I might be like a little out of it. Why can't the surprise guy be Cody Rhodes?
Timing.
What's Cody doing right now that's so important?
He's the War Games captain.
But War Games is going to be over in 2 weeks. Oh, well, never mind. See, that's
And you
why I'm
already have unless you're building to Cody and Jey Uso, there's nothing else there for it because Bronson Reed ends up. I see Jey Uso getting cost the match. I see Bronson Reed getting cost his match. Um, yeah, I just think he's too involved. I think that's why it was the perfect timing for this tournament because you get some of those guys, some of those bigger name guys that you would consider to put in a tournament like this. Like a Braun Breaker, a Cody Rhodes, a Drew McIntyre, a CM Punk, a Logan Paul, I think yeah, obviously Roman Reigns, and I could see you're building the vision up. I still don't know who they could put as the fifth guy.
Well, what's up with Drew joining War Games
Well, because
on their
Drew and
side?
Cody are feuding.
You don't think Drew will stick around with Paul Heyman
No,
in Seth's absence? Then he gets Seth
no,
and Drew.
no.
Okay.
Um,
Cena
yeah,
mentioned
no, that's still.
how his the tournament is about the younger talent and NXT and all that kind of shit, right? He was
Yeah.
basically making the point that like that Saturday night's main event is going to be NXT, and if he's going to give back, who could he give back the most to? I think last time we talked about it, we were talking about who could utilize I beat John Cena, I retired John Cena. Who could use that to their advantage the most? But
Gunther.
which young wrestler? I was going to say LA Knight. I think would be too old, which you alluded to. Um, I think, but I hate that it's that obvious. Which I think is why I'm like reaching here with Cody being being the mystery guy.
I'm looking at my notes and I'm trying to see. I guess I could see it being. No, I mean I'm thinking like Brock Lesnar could be that fifth guy.
Who's the mystery person going up against?
Ooh, who is the mystery person going up against?
Because that would be crucial if they're going up against somebody who's we know is not going to win or would
Um,
not be a good fit advancing in the tournament to face whoever the winner of the other matches would be.
Solo Sokoa.
Solo can't win, dude.
So it's going to be Joe Hendry.
Man.
Because you have to have it be a good guy, but also a good guy that's on Solo Sikoa's level.
I think there's so many people above his level now. I think the new bloodline
Unless,
flopped so hard that Solo, it just like without being the bloodline enforcer, he's just like
and I could see them since they're already doing like a 5-on-5 kind of eliminator match the night before SmackDown, between the Motor City Machine Guns. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do.
all right. Well, we only have a couple minutes left, but we've been talking about the Cena tournament. We're obviously excited to see how it all plays out. I think we've both our smart wrestling heads are telling us that it's going to be Gunther, but I think I don't know. I still want to be shocked. I still want to be really emotional, and I don't doubt Cena's capabilities in that. I just hope the match isn't big bleh, a big dud. It's got to
So
end the right way.
let me ask you this: taking AEW stars out of the equation, or most AEW stars out of the equation, right? With what we expect for next year. AJ Styles is doing the same exact farewell kind of tour. I already said it. You do something similar. You get to pick two mystery opponents for that would make sense for AJ Styles. Who are the two mystery opponents that you bring in?
And I can't use AEW people.
You can't use you can't use Samoa Joe. You can't use Christopher Daniels. It's
Those were the
people
two
you
I
would
was going to use.
yeah.
um, I'd put that mask back on Abyss.
Okay, that's a good one.
Um,
Ooh, I could
oh
also see the mystery
shit.
opponent for Solo Key being Jeff Hardy. Sorry, but
Well, we talked about Jeff Hardy
yeah,
too, and
I could see
If
that
Jeff
too.
Hardy took the loss and then Solo moved on and the loss to like Jey Uso or somebody, I could see that happening.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. But anyway, sorry.
no, wow. I honestly,
The
the
mask on
first name
Abyss is a
that's
good idea.
I would
I didn't think of
well,
that
and
one.
I know that would never happen, and I know that I don't know how capable Abyss necessarily is.
Yeah,
Um,
Joseph Park.
yeah. I guess I would say Randy Orton.
Okay.
This is hit. Oh fuck. I wish I could say John Cena, and I wish I could say Samoa. Dude, Samoa Joe.
Is the perfect one. But
God, dude, they are like peanut butter and jelly, dude.
yeah. I honestly think Kenny Omega would be another great one.
Well,
All the
he
history
would.
in New Japan.
Yeah. What about? Well, you can't do Kurt Angle anymore. Um, man.
My two are Jericho and Frankie Kazarian.
Well, how big was the Jericho AJ feud? I don't really remember. I know they had that WrestleMania
It
match at
was the
WrestleMania
first
32.
feud that AJ Styles had in WWE.
Okay. Well, if Jericho shows up at the Royal Rumble and AJ retires in December, then hopefully they can refamiliarize everyone with Jericho, and then we can have a
Yeah,
big story, and they can
leading
redo
up to
that.
it.
Um, man, I it would be Samoa Joe, and there would be no other answer.
All
And
right.
I don't think there's a wrestling fan on the planet as old as
That
we
would
are
be,
that would
yeah,
say
disagree
any
with
other
you.
name.
Yeah. Finn Balor, I would put up there too, though, as who I'd want him to fight in the last match. But
Bullet Club.
yeah,
Okay.
that's my favorite thing that I think WWE has dropped the ball on. But all right, buddy.
Well, let me hit a couple of these spots real quick before we wrap up. First of all, you got to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube, which you're watching this on. HITFPOD. Thanks a bunch. And look, let's get to 600 TikTok
Well,
followers.
we're
We
getting
can do
there.
it. We can do it in 3 days. Mickey's got that on lock.
Yep, we're getting there.
But so keep on the lookout because the end of the year is almost upon us. We have some huge announcements with some partners of ours that we've been working with that we can't wait to share. with you guys. But the second annual, they were called the Fakies, but
They were called. I know. I like. What's it called? I came up with the other name just now, but
no, I know, but I think we need to rename them just so a wrestler will be happy to accept them. So, but for now, the Fakies, our yearly awards, are going to be
I
happening
like.
soon.
Um. Yeah. No, that's good.
And then we have a Christmas special that we have ideas for, but last time we did it,
Oh, that's what
we
the
just
other. That's what. Sorry. That's what the other podcast calls theirs. What I was thinking.
what other podcast?
The big one.
Oh, yeah. And then I will be back at VWC ring announcing just like I was last night on December 12th. So come to Wildomar, check us out there. It's the last VWC show of 2025.
That's
And then
this
we
year.
still have, yeah. And then we still have some really, really big news outside of the big news that I told you that we can't tell you about. And we can tell you about this whenever we want. We just haven't thought of a great way to tell you guys yet.
Yep.
But
So
shit's
that's
popping
happening.
off, dude. All right. Well, I'm gonna go watch some Samoa Joe and AJ Styles.
I
Maybe
love
move
it.
on over to Bruiser Brody and Lex Luthor.
I'm gonna go and take a nap before I go to Gym Class Heroes tonight.
You're going to Gym Class Heroes?
It's a free concert, dude. Gym Class Heroes and Fits in the Tantrums right by my house.
Fits in the tent. I
Yeah.
can make it. It's only 9:30 here.
Yeah, you could make it in time.
I could.
It starts at 4.
All right, everyone, take it easy. We'll see you on the next one.
Like